Good afternoon, everybody. Or, in the words of the last video, hey, dudes. And welcome to another League of Legends ranked solo queue match. This time we're playing Mordekaiser against what looks like Pantheon. Their team comp, I'm not too worried about it. Fiddlesticks is going to be a bit annoying coming out of the jungle. And he definitely mains Fiddlesticks, otherwise his name wouldn't be Hello, Fiddy. We have Lux, Ezreal, Kha'Zix, and Thresh. So we do have quite a good team comp going on. I'll be playing the part of top laner, hopefully against Pantheon. If it is against Pantheon, then we're going to have an easy time with this. As you can see, we are on the blue team this time. Last time we were on purple, so that's going to give us an instant advantage in the game. Now, it looks like Volibear is going to be going mid, because there is a Blitzcrank support. He could be going top as well, because Pantheon can just as easily mid as many mid laners. But I'm not entirely sure. We'll see when we get in game, which shouldn't be too far from now. So, in the last video, I said if you didn't like the music, just let me know and I'll turn it off. And for this video, since I haven't gotten any responses to that question, the music will be on once again, this time playing from a different point in my Spotify playlist. This means there will be advertisements, and yes, that will be annoying. So we're just going to pick up Adorn Shield, Health Pot, and Warding Totem, since I'm not sure who we're going up against top. So Adorn Shield is going to be my safest purchase. And we have a Kha'Zix who's going to go blue buff first, most likely. So I'm going to go meet him there. And even if he doesn't, I still have to watch blue. So what I'm thinking of doing for this series is, for every match, I want to play a different champion, maybe even a different lane. I feel like that's going to give me the best experience in terms of how well I'm able to play and what lanes. So it looks like Kha'Zix wants to invade on red. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, but we're going to go with it. The Fiddlesticks is definitely going to be starting their blue first. Alright, what I'm going to do is just sneak into their jungle and try and get a ward in there. So we're not going to get back in time to do the full leash, but it shouldn't be too much of an issue. Alright, so we've got Volibear top and Pantheon mid. And I'm going to be out of my lane for a little while, because I'm going to help Kha'Zix take Fiddlesticks red. And that is a successful counter jungle. So we're going to go straight up, get some poking on Volibear done. And we accidentally took the long way. Not ideal, but we can live with it. He's just going to smack the tower a few times. So this time I've switched out my headphones, so there won't be any cutting out because these are wired headphones. Now, we're going to be a bit behind because of what Kha'Zix wanted to do, but I'm not too worried about it as Mordekaiser against a Volibear. So I did pick up my W first. That's just my personal preference. What a lot of Mordekaisers will do is get their E and then their Q, and that gives them a bit more poking capabilities. But what I like to do is put my W on a minion like that, and that ensures that my shield is constantly kept high, just in case their jungle decides to come in and gank. That's one of the best things about Mordekaiser, in my opinion. He can push very hard, and 90% of the time he can escape the gank as a result. His shield passive, which is that, and you can pause it if you want to read it all, is an extremely good passive and possibly one of my favorites in the entire game. I'm very fond of it, but the one thing about it that a lot of new players who are brand new to Mordekaiser don't understand is that in order to build up your shield, you have to use your abilities. And another thing that a lot of people don't know about Mordekaiser is that his abilities use HP. So, a good, always good item to build on Mordekaiser is a tiny bit of lifesteal. You don't need much, just a little bit, as your abilities don't take too much health. So if you get that little bit of lifesteal, the health that your abilities take comes right back immediately. As you can see, Volibear did bite me a little while back, and it did really no damage to me. The only damage I've suffered so far is just damage from my abilities, really. That's how much damage Mordekaiser's shield can absorb. It is extremely good. So, for this game, our goal is to just keep Volibear poked down until level 6. Once we hit level 6, we may be able to secure a kill on him, but it's not a guarantee. We might even be able to secure a kill on him if he makes a few mistakes. Which he did just then. He got into an exchange that was never going to be in his favor. The thing about Mordekaiser is that he gets shut down very easily by a silence-capable champion. So, champions like Garen and Cho'Gath, they're going to be very difficult matchups for one playing Mordekaiser. In those kinds of matchups, you really have to be careful. Now, as you can see, Volibear is back up to almost full health. That's his passive. When he takes enough damage, a passive activates where he regenerates a huge chunk of his HP. So, we have his passive down. That means we can safely go in on a fight and maybe secure a kill. So that gives us our ulti. Now, if he decides to come in, we're going to go in on him. And we're going to die too. That was a stupid move on me. But we got first blood against Volibear, and we are going to scale much harder off of that first blood. Now, we didn't get first blood for the entire game. I believe Kha'Zix got that when he went and ganked bottom. But that one kill is going to set us ahead quite nicely. Especially against a Volibear. I have a friend who mains Volibear jungle, and for quite a while, in order for him to get properly set up with Volibear jungle, he would need 2 kills, because he didn't realize that you can set him up just as easily with enough farm. Now, as you can see, Volibear is going to be a bit cautious around me now. He knows what I'm willing to do to try and get a kill. And I am going to be a bit more careful about trying to get kills on him. So as you can see, our auto attacks don't do shit for damage. We rely on our abilities, and it seems like he's picked up a bit of magic resist, and he has. So, what we're going to build first is our Void Staff, after we get our Will of the Ancients. And that will negate a lot of his magic resist immediately. And yes, for those of you wondering, this is a track from the Grand Theft Auto 5 radios. I believe it is on Radio Mirror Park is the station that it's on. And it's called Sleepwalking. So for those of you who want to listen to it on Grand Theft Auto, there's where it is. So as you can see, we're not farming as much as we could be, but Volibear is quite far behind us. So I'm not too worried about it. And he's missing a bit of farm from the turret. This is what I always like to do with Mordekaiser. I like to push directly up to their turret so that they lose as many minions as possible. We don't want them farming up. So if they farm up, then they're going to build a bit too much magic resist for Mordekaiser to really poke through. And Mordekaiser's best ability during laning phase is E, because he's able to poke. And he's able to poke pretty hard. In this case, we're not doing as much as we could, again, because of the magic resist. So, as I said earlier, our next item is going to be Void Staff. And we're probably not going to go back for quite a while. Now, as you can see, his passive is healing past my ulti. But that's okay, as long as his passive is down, which is on a fairly long cooldown. And I've got Fiddlesticks coming in. I'm pretty sure he used his flash because he teleported forward a short distance there. Now, I really should have been able to see that. I can't remember if I had a ward down there or not. But that was not very good on our part. So this is the item we're going to be building next, the Void Staff. Magic damage ignores 35% of the target's magic resist, and it applies before magic penetration. That means any magic penetration we have is going to be applied after 35% of the magic resist is ignored by Void Staff. It's the AP equivalent of Last Whisper for ADs. And if you watched my last video, you know I do love to get Last Whisper on Wukong. Now, Kha'Zix is going to come in for a gank here. I'm not sure if we'll be able to secure it, as we don't have as much damage output as we could have. So Volibear just being a little cheeky there, saying hello to Kha'Zix. So, since Volibear decided to pull out a little bit, we get to push up to his tower. Now, what I'm going to do is go back and ward this bush here. Now, I know, because it happened once already, that Fiddlesticks will probably come in from right there, if he does try to gank again, so that's what I'm going to be careful of. As you can see, Volibear is not taking any damage from us anymore, So that means all we're going to do is just farm up. And he wants to try and secure a kill for himself here. What he's doing instead is gaining nothing and missing farm. As you can see, I didn't take that much damage. And you can see my ward is out. That means Fiddlesticks was there and he did clear it. So I'm going to wait a minute. Until I either spot Fiddlesticks on the map, or he gets bored and walks off. Now what you can do in this situation is just wait for the minion wave to be pushed, and hide back here, because it's very hard to gank at this position because of how close you are to your tower. Now Volibear could easily flip me like that, and Fiddlesticks is going to miss his ulti. So we're just going to build up some gold and get the advantage there. And hopefully, if we're lucky, we'll be able to buy our Void Staff straight out. We won't have to build into anything. Although, if we have to, we will go back and we will build the items into it, because that'll give us a bit of an advantage against him, because we'll build up some more AP. Now, Mordekaiser is one of very few AP caster top champions. He can be taken mid, and he does get taken mid more often than he gets taken top. I've always preferred him top, and I've been playing him since Season 2. To be honest, I wasn't very good with him, but that's to be expected when you're still a new player. He is among the first champions that I actually bought on League, and I did buy him with RP. Because when I first joined League, I kind of went crazy with my spending. So, since it's been so long, Volibear's passive is definitely back up. So the next time we get into a fight with him, we're not going to use our ulti. And we're going to try and get him down as far as we possibly can with our abilities, proc his passive, and then we're going to get out of the fight. Now what we can do, since I have Ignite up, is ignite him before all that happens. Now, that's going to require some good timing, as if I don't ignite at the right time, he's going to heal back all of my ulti's damage. And my ulti is a big part of my damage. So, what we're going to do, instead of picking up Void Staff, is we're going to get Haunting Guise. This will give us plus 15 magic penetration. So that'll help us do a bit more damage to Mr. Volibear there. And this will also build into our Haunting Guise. I mean, our Leandri's Torment, which is going to do magic damage over time. So we have Blitz on the other side of the wall. He missed his pull, so that's going to be on cooldown for a little bit. Pantheon got himself a double kill. I'm not too worried about that. But let's see what he's building. Alright, he's going to get... He's got his Hex Drinker, so he's got a bit of magic resist. Ooh, that was a close one there, Graves. Very strong attempt, though, Lux. Almost had him. So we've got Kha'Zix ready to jump in on them. Oh. Okay, so that was a 2-for-1 trade. That's not bad. We've got Volibear pushing top, but Israel seems to be dealing with that. So we're just going to stay mid and really pressure this turret. We got minions pushing bottom pretty hard. And we've got quite a large chunk of gold. So, we're going to go back, hopefully, buy our Void Staff. Oh, not quite yet. Let's stay. Oh, no, we can go back. So, our Void Staff is really going to help against Pantheon and Volibear, as they are building a bit of magic resist. And if you notice there, Fiddlesticks also has Zhonya's Hourglass. So we're going to try not to ult him. And he's not going to be very useful if I ult him, because his damage comes from his abilities, not from his auto attacks. With Mordekaiser's ulti, you can only make them use auto attacks and not abilities. So that's something to always watch out for when you're about to use your ulti. You always want to try and ulti the ADC more than anyone else, because if you do manage to kill the ADC, that will give your team the biggest advantage you can possibly get. Especially if they're a strong ADC and you get the shutdown on them. Alright, so let's get our shield up on some of these minions here. So as you can see, Volibear's passive does proc on his ulti, and even I didn't know this. So that is going to be a very useful thing to know. And we have Blitzcrank coming in, so we're going to back off a bit. Ezreal's ulti put the minion wave pretty low, so we're going to be able to push that back really quickly. Or at least our minions will be able to. So we're going to finish up getting wraiths, like we were doing earlier. And it looks like the enemy team had a ward right there. So we have ourselves blue buff and red buff. Now, blue buff, the only thing useful with blue buff and Mordekaiser is the cooldown reduction. That's going to be very useful, as we'll be able to keep our shields up very high. And it seems Lux's snare went right through Graves. We almost got our ulti off on Graves. So what we're going to do is just push down this turret. So we're going to stay on mid for now. We are open to a fairly large gang, but we're just going to farm up a bit. And push the minion wave. We want to keep this lane under pressure constantly. We've got ourselves a bit of a lag spike, and it's going down already. So we did have to use our flash there. And gave them a shutdown. Not great, but that was a very good initiation by Pantheon, and their team capitalized on it. So very good job by them. In this case, what we're going to do is pick up our needlessly large rod, and that's going to build into our Rabadon's Death Camp. So this is going to increase our ability power by a huge amount, and we're going to really start hurting. We already hurt now, but we're going to hurt even more. So we are 6, 4, and 4. We are 20 versus 25, but we have more turrets down mid. All our turrets are down except for bottom and mid inner. So what we have to do is we have to push top and mid and bottom. This Lux seems to be a bit annoyed with how we're playing, but it's not like she's playing any better. Otherwise she wouldn't be in bronze either. They're thinking they want to go Baron. I'm not sure about this. They're all up. And we need someone to stay mid. So as you can see, Fiddlesticks decided to go back in for some strange reason that I do not quite understand myself. So we're just going to let our shield eat the turret shots. And our Fiddlesticks Ghost went away. Alright, so we've pushed down their mid turrets. Our top turrets are gone, except for an inhib turret. We have ourselves 1400 gold. That's not quite enough to go buy our Rabadons, so it looks like we're going to start gearing up for Baron, which means we need a few wards down, so I'll put one there. So, Volibear has built Spirit Visage and Randuin's Omen, a pretty standard build for a Volibear. That was a very bad engagement. Kha'Zix might want to watch himself here. I personally wouldn't recall there. So, what we're going to do, instead of getting Sorcerer's Shoes, would be great for the magic penetration, but we want a bit of defense against Fiddlesticks. We're going to get Mercury's Treads. So, they're going to push down our inhibitor turret there. We have Baron all warded up, so they won't be sneaking that in until our wards disappear. If they do end up clearing the wards, then we'll still see it. So I'm going to get a ward down there. It'll give us some good vision of our jungle, and I'm going to clear this minion wave. And that gives us a bit of extra gold to work with. And we'll go back once we have enough to get our Mercury's treads. And we'll sell our Doran shield. And probably buy something with a bit of HP. Oh, and it seems Thresh was able to get Woolly Bear, but it looks like Kha'Zix was the one who was supposed to get that kill. And Thresh lands a great pull on Graves. So we're going to capitalize on our kills immediately and push the turret. So we're going to push down top while they defend their mid. So we have our ulti back, and Graves looks like he wants to do a bit of damage. So if we get the opportunity, we're definitely going to use our ulti on Graves, as he's going to give us the best little ghost possible. So, while these guys push top, I'm going to go mid and clear the minion wave. And then, I'm going to go bot and clear that minion wave and start pushing bottom. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to head back and get our next item. After we sell our Doran shield, we're going to pick up Liandry's Torment, and then we're going to work on Rylai's. So we'll pick up our Giant's Belt there, and we'll get into the fight as quickly as we can. So we pick ourselves up a lovely triple there. Was going to use Pantheon's Ghost to tank the turret, but we should be able to take this down really quickly. And we'll be able to get an inhibitor out of this as well. So as you can see, Graves got Guardian Angel. But that didn't do much for me. And Fiddle's going to ulti in. I'm going to flash out of that. So with this, we're going to go push top out as fast as we can. So that gives us a very good place to be. And we're going to head back and get our next item, which will be Rylai's Crystal Scepter. And with that, we are full build. So, let me explain a little bit about the build. As it is recommended, I do want to explain why it's good and why it might not be good for some people. For those of you who played in Season 2, you might remember that the recommended builds were never very good. I am happy to say that they are much better than they used to be now. So, our Void Staff is going to give us a big chunk of magic penetration, but not true magic penetration. We'll just be ignoring magic resist. Very good alt Lux. Alright, so they immediately took me out of the fight, which was a very smart idea. Oh, I said we were going to buy something else, not those. We're going to buy Mercury's Treads. So we're just going to get our enchantment on it as Alacrity, very basic. This is going to give us a little bit extra movement speed, so we'll be able to get into fights easier and more quickly. And it seems like we didn't do too well on that fight. And Kha'Zix successfully takes down bottom turret. Very good job on his part. And it looks like we have a Graves at full build, a Pantheon at almost full build, and a Blitzcrank that is very near to full build. So as you can see, Blitzcrank is building straight armor and a bit of ability power. So we're going to be able to take him down very easily with our AP. But as you can see, our auto attack does not do much damage. At this point, we have 535 AP, and we're going to head bottom, see what we can do. So me and Kha'Zix are going to head to Baron. Hopefully my Pantheon Ghost lasts long enough. But I'm not too worried about it, as my shield's going to be able to negate a lot of Baron's damage early on. Can't do Baron. So, it looks like they're wanting to push down mid. Graves has Guardian Angel back up. I'm not too worried about that. We do a lot of damage to Graves. And he doesn't do very much to us. So, with our Volley Ghost, we're going to send him in there. And while Lux does her thing, me and Ezreal are going to get Baron. So we made quick work of that, and we're instantly going to try and capitalize on it. Ezreal's going to go clear bottom with Thresh, and me and Kha'Zix and Lux, hopefully, will so we're going to get the hell out. Oh. If only my E hit it, we might have been able to negate that damage, but wasn't quite close enough. We've got Ezreal beating on Blitzcrank, and Kha'Zix jumps in for that kill. Kha'Zix's score is 12, 10, and 10. We are 3, 7, 15 at 272 farm. So we're doing fairly well for ourselves, but in terms of team, we're not helping out as much as we could be. I really have to start ulting Graves as much as I possibly can. He's full build, so he's going to be doing a lot of damage. So, we're just asking if our team agrees with that focus order. And we're going to group up on mid. So, this is the live or die kind of situation. If we win this team fight, we can easily push, get inhibitor down, and win. If we lose this, they can push back, and they can get our inhibitor down and win it for themselves. So, we're going to follow Kazakh's in. And I forgot to pick up some elixirs again. So we're just going to be pushing top here, and they're pushing mid, so I'm going to head back. I'm going to purchase my elixirs, finally. So we're going to get our elixir of fortitude and elixir of brilliance for 10% cooldown reduction and a bit of bonus health. So at the moment we don't have vision on anybody, which isn't great. We've got ourselves a bit of a lag spike, but we're going to continue pushing mid. We've got Pantheon there. We've got ourselves a Fiddlesticks, so that gets out their biggest damage. Got a bit of an FPS drop there. Actually, quite a bit of an FPS drop. That wasn't very good. And Graves Guardian down. That's definitely going to put us in a good position for team fights. We can take Graves down very quickly. We're going to be able to win a team fight. And then we can continue. And this might even be our win right here. We can take down both Volibear and the other one. Can't remember which one that was. Blitzcrank. Yeah, but it looks like Kha'Zix went down, and he's got a very long respawn time. Hopefully me and Thresh will be able to push hard enough. But it looks like they're pushing back as hard as they can, so we're just going to be in a position where we have to defend. Fiddlesticks is doing a very heavy amount of damage, and I had no ability to get out of that, as I didn't have my flash. As you can see, yes, Kha'Zix did evolve his R. I'm not personally a fan of that. I don't like evolving my R as Kha'Zix. I prefer to evolve my W, as it gives me a bit more poking capability and a much better time at farming. So it seems like they have their Pantheon back. Graves is up in 14 seconds. What we're actually going to do is we're going to sell our Will of the Ancients, and we're going to pick up Zhonya's. And that puts us at 626 ability power. We're going to go to our consumables, get our elixirs. We're going to go here, sell our enchantment, our boots. We're going to pick up boots of mobility with home guard. So it seems Pantheon really wants us. And we're going to go back and defend. Now, in terms of this game, I might actually be tempted to sell my boots and just pick up a very heavy lifesteal item, which is going to give us a huge amount of sustainability. Or, sorry, spell vamp, not lifesteal. So yes, we're going to pick up our Hextech Gunblade, as this will also give us a bit of AD to smack some people with. And it will just make our auto attacks hurt that little bit more. Now we are especially slow, but hopefully this won't matter too much.
Hey, sorry to be all music to make you listen to an ad, but click on banner and this could be the last thing you get for a month. See, Wendy's is torching the ads and giving away free Spotify Premium. Why? Because we're all about giving you more than you expect. Like the bold spice of our new spicy Chipotle crispy chicken cheeseburger for only 99 cents if you're listening. So click where you're dancing and now that's better. See this for details.
And that, my friends, is game. I know this was a particularly long one, and I do apologize for that, but hopefully it was entertaining enough for you.